Oh, wow, look at that. The Venezuelan military had a message to the United States all the way back in 2022. The message being, listen, Yankee, we're armed with Russian weapons. We're waiting for you. We will be your Latin American Vietnam. As Donald J. Trump is saying, bring it on! Chai Kam Ching Chong Man! As it looks like the President of the United States is pretty serious. Some would say deadly serious when it comes to his aggressive foreign policy maneuvers that he's making right now against Venezuela. As the storm clouds are gathering, as major military movement now is in play all around the coast of Venezuela. As Donald Trump has some very interesting things to say, as DNI Tulsi Gabbard came out and talked about how awful some of these drug traffickers are. And there's a lot of nuance to this particular conversation that we're going to be doing our best to have. As, of course, what Tulsi said, describing some of these individuals is absolutely awful. But let's not mix words here or justifications, as it definitely does look like there are some things that need to be corrected when it comes to the record of a lot of these kind of boats and fishermen that needs to be talked about in a more honest, real way. Now, again, the left is going to tell you, oh, look at Pablo, the poor fisherman just trying to survive to feed his family. And oh, what? My God, that doesn't look like a poor innocent Pablo right here. But the right wing's like, there's all fentanyl. That's not true either. Okay? All right. As a carrier strike group now is in play, and Donald Trump has announced you will be seeing land action soon, as the betting odds are saying. Yep. It is going to be happening sooner than later. And if you appreciate these type of nuanced conversations that break through a lot of the kind of propaganda, disinformation, and nonsense, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that, of course, you spend with us, as there's a lot to talk about right now. And I think it's important to talk about it in an open and honest way. As the Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group has just been ordered to deploy in the U.S. Southern Command area of responsibility, as a lot of people are responding, Maduro, the dictator of Venezuela, is getting a Ring doorbell photo of U.S. military personnel on his doorstep. As a lot of people are saying, hey, we have a lot of things to take care of at home. Why do we got to do this? And Donald Trump laid out his argument saying, yeah, we're just going to kill people.
Mr. President, if you are declaring war against these cartels and Congress is likely to approve of that process, why not just ask for a declaration of war?
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. You know, they're going to be like dead. Okay? Yeah.
What? Hey, listen. He doesn't mince words. At least he's honest, right? At least we're getting the video footage. Barack Obama, when he extrajudiciously assassinated American citizens, the corporate media was like, shut up. Shh, don't talk about it. I remember I was talking about it with some of the biggest top officials. They're like, you lies. I'm like, no, it's actually the truth. We did a groundbreaking reporting on that, and then we were called crazy conspiracy theorists, which is ridiculous. Now, anyway. Regardless of that, we did that on our own. I didn't even have a producer, it was just, did all the editing. It was crazy, man. If I had a full team behind me, I could have done so much more. Anyway, looking back at this type of statement here, it is important to note here that there are dangerous kind of cartel members out there, traffickers, as Tulsi Gabbard was talking about some of the most insidious type of traffickers out there that have been performing organ transplant, the organ black market, doing things with selling newborn babies, lots of evil stuff.
The most insidious was providing intelligence to the Mexican law enforcement that led to the arrest of a CJNG cartel-affiliated baby trafficker called La Diabla.
Her name was Marta Elisa Mendez Agurera.
Her whole money-making operation was centered around luring pregnant women, performing illegal C-sections, harvesting organs, and selling newborn babies. Mr. President, it's your...
Not nice people. Luckily, she was apprehended September 2nd, 2025. But it was in Mexico. If we're trying to stop the threat of fentanyl, the vast majority of it is going in Mexico. Now, there's a lot of different analysts and different type of experts in the region that are coming out and saying, hey, you know these speedboats, right? They're not filled with all fentanyl. They're filled with cocaine. And a lot of the times they make their ways to Caribbean islands, and then those Caribbean islands make their way to Europe. Yeah, Europe. Now, does some make it to the United States? Yeah. There's also a lot of American tourists that go down to the Caribbean and they're like, yeah, party, woo, yeah, go get some. And I'm like, I don't trust anything or anybody out there anymore. But it's important to understand here, a lot of these boats just don't have the ability to actually make it from Venezuela to the United States. Vast majority of these boats, even from my kind of independent reporting, go and end up in Caribbean islands. And then the Caribbean islands, sometimes it makes it to the United States, sometimes it makes it over to Europe. And that's how, sometimes it goes to Africa, and then there's different kind of trade routes that go along all throughout there. And a lot of this could just be stopped by eliminating the black market, but that's more of a nuanced conversation. Now, before playing the rest of this clip by Tulsi and then going into more kind of Donald Trump actions and statements, I mean, he just said Venezuela doesn't want to F around after talking about how Venezuela is offering him everything. So the more nuanced conversation about the cartels we're going to have before talking about some of the great, incredible products available on wearechange.shop. As the Trump Truth Social media post was just a few days ago about CBD, which you can get on takecalm.com. That is, I think, a great representation of how allowing individuals to make choices with their own individual bodies is important. There used to be a time where CBD used to be illegal. CBD doesn't get you high, it doesn't get you all loopy, it doesn't get you all crazy, unless you buy the cheap ones from the gas stations. You don't know what you're getting, and then you're like, whoa, why am I tripping out? I don't know. Maybe because you bought really poor quality CBD. We got some highest quality, grown in America, manufactured, made in America. That matters. Because Donald Trump's literally like, hey guys, go take some CBD. CBD's great. On his own Truth Social media account. Something that during the Bush years, the Bush Republican years were like, it's a hardcore narcotic. Oh, you better not take some CBD. And I was like, dude, this is wild. This is crazy. I went and I interviewed the pot father in the Netherlands, and this stuff has personally helped me a lot. And it's high quality, premium type of stuff here available on wearechange.shop. Every time I travel, I have this with me. I have a lot of people close to in my life that deal with like anxiety or stress, and they like, freak out. And then I give them this, and then sometimes it helps. Now, if you're dealing with that and you're still drinking alcohol or like overly caffeinating yourself or overly stressing and wrecking your nervous system, all the CBD in the world is not going to help you. Carnivore Aurelius just posted this on Twitter saying, most people today don't need cold plunges or high-intensity workouts. I like workouts. I can't recommend workouts enough, but a lot of people take it too far, end up injuring, hurting themselves, or just messing up their hormones by going too crazy too hard. And I did that too. You got to be careful. As he says, they need deep nasal breathing, long barefoot walks, and meditations to calm their nervous systems. This is how you truly heal. That's what I do. I take CBD. I wake up every morning, ground. And I do meditations with deep breathing exercises. I usually share them on, there's a video on lukeunfiltered.com. I'm going to share another meditation video later on today on the members chat area. But before I meditate, I take this, and it like Helps you meditate that much more. TakeCalm.com. Do your own homework and research before putting anything into your own body. Can't recommend it enough. Now, there's a reason why today the administration was talking about the dangers of the cartels, but they were mentioning the cartels from Mexico, not Venezuela. As a lot of people understand, this cartel talk about Venezuela really isn't about cartel talk. It's about something completely different.
Your leadership that has made all of this possible. I can tell you, in the midst of this government shutdown, our folks, like everyone around this table, are working 24/7 without pay and eager to get after this because they believe in your leadership and the mission that you have presented to them. Thank you, Mr. President. I'll hand this off to Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller, the leader of this.
So listen. The media, these poor fishermen. Okay, some of them, it looks like there are some reports coming in saying, yeah, well, I think one of them was an accident or not. There's also submarines being targeted. At first, we're like, okay, the cartels really got submarines. And then the United States was like, okay, we're going to bomb submarines. And they have. Which is, surprising. As now we're getting news from NBC that the U.S. carried out a strike on another boat just a few hours ago. And these kind of attacks keep continuing. It definitely probably is providing a major chilling effect, but this is extrajudicial. This is Trump saying, yeah, we're just going to take these people's lives instead of detaining them, instead of interrogating them, instead of arresting them, instead of holding them accountable. They're just like, you blow them up. And personally, I think the rule of law should be more kind of followed here. Now, the president is going to say, we're following the rule of law. It's in international waters. They're trying to bring fentanyl to kill all of you. And I think that's a little bit of an over-exaggeration. And yes, there are incidences where that's true, but vast majority of these boats are going to the Caribbean. Vast majority of these boats have cocaine. Okay. There was a famous Gavin McGinnis skit. When he was asked about these boats being blown up, he was like, wait, what's on them? Wait, no. It's pretty funny. The Insider is also reporting that Donald Trump will just announced that we will be seeing land action in Venezuela soon. Now, this is important since he declared Nicolas Maduro a drug trafficker and says we're going to stop all drug traffickers and we're going to bomb them and take them and take their lives. As now, even the betting markets, and we're so obsessed with these betting markets, it's pretty crazy. The betting markets are projecting that there's a 62% chance that the United States will get into a war with Venezuela. As Donald Trump, just a few days ago, says Venezuela's Maduro doesn't want to F around with the United States.
Everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently offering mediation. What should we do in order to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Wow. Very, very choice words. As now U.S. warships are bound for Trinidad for more military exercises. Now be careful with these military exercises because throughout human history, a lot of these war exercises turn out to not be exercises or drills. They turn out to be the actual type of maneuvers being made for war. Now, the United States has been drilling and planning and working towards making sure the U.S. military is ready for land invasions, airstrikes, and doing all these particular drills in Puerto Rico. Them moving into Trinidad now for these military exercises is highlighting a situation where this could be used as the cover in order to launch these strikes against Venezuela. Now, there's also reports of U.S. Special Ops helicopters spotted just 90 minutes away from Venezuela. There's also B-1 bombers that were seen on radar that Donald Trump said, what B-1 bombers? I don't see no B-1 bombers. People are like, but the radar says there's B-1. What? No, there's no B-1 bomber. What are you talking about? As U.S. Special Operations helicopters, B-52 bombers, Special Ops aircraft, all near Venezuela. The staging grounds are set. The storm clouds are gathering. As Trump has been confirmed, according to the Washington Post, to have authorized CIA covert missions inside of the country as part of a crackdown on the drug traffickers, as the Pentagon is saying, oh, it's just routine training. There's just stealth ships, SEAL-ready chopters, 3 bombers. We're just practicing here. Practicing from what? As, of course, the Venezuelans have Russian S-300 defense missile systems, shoulder-fired missiles, and as you saw in the beginning of this video, this is back in 2022, the Venezuelan military is like, yeah, we got Russian arms. Let's go. Let's go, America. Come on. Let's make your Latin American Vietnam. Trump's like, let's go. You want to mess around? As right now, it looks like a lot of these actions against these boats are directly impacting the Venezuelan economy. Now, what's going to be happening here is, of course, Trump's announced tariffs, also an end to U.S. aid to Colombia, as the Colombian president came out and said, this is not about drugs, this is about oil. Let's just be real and honest with ourselves, as Venezuela is a major oil producer. Trump also cut off all diplomatic relations with Venezuela, as a lot of people are saying he's just moving into all of the steps for regime change here. Now, this military carrier in the Caribbean, these strikes, all of this meant to, of course, create a full frontal direct conflict with Venezuela, as multiple reports, and even Trump is reporting, Venezuela offered us oil, gold, mineral wealth. They agreed to cut off ties with China and Russia, and Trump declined and just sent 10,000 plus more troops to the entire region.
Bombers are flying off the coast of Venezuela. Trump's not bluffing. Right now, more than 10,000 U.S. soldiers are built up in the Caribbean, on ships in Puerto Rico, locked and loaded. Special operations helicopters were just seen flying 90 miles from Venezuela's coast. The chopper units used by Delta Force, Navy SEALs, and the Green Berets. The Black Ops were spotted off the coast of Trinidad.
Now, listen, there's also a doctrine with Trump being offered everything, like gold, resources, better relations with Venezuela. There's a faction of a lot of the Trump administration that is very heavily from Florida that also wants to see the collapse of Cuba. And they believe that we need to see the collapse of Venezuela first, and then we're going to see the collapse of Cuba. And then we're going to have a more free, more American-centered Caribbean and Latin America.
They're very important for search and rescue missions. Also spotted, little birds. They're smaller but faster, designed for quick insertion of special operators behind enemy lines. The Ghost was also confirmed to be in the Caribbean. That's the nickname for MV Ocean Trader. It's the kind of ship that doesn't want to be found. It's designed for black ops and special missions because it's dark and blends in with cargo. There's more. 10% of the U.S. naval power is now in the region. It's a major shift. There's subs, several destroyers, and F-35 fighters in Puerto Rico. That's on top of all the coke boats getting smoked to pieces by the week.
Coke boats, not fentanyl boats, coke boats. Now, my question is, how much are we paying for this? You see what's happening with the economy? Within the last 2 months, we just increased our debt to over $1 trillion. Why am I paying for this? What's the goal? What's the objective? Don't tell me it's drugs, because it's not. Drugs are coming in from Mexico, predominantly. The fentanyl coming in from Mexico, linked with China. Venezuela does have ties to China, but they're saying they're willing to cut that off.
Don't tell Hunter. Dozens of bad hombres becoming shark bait. It's got Maduro's attention. He's the dictator of the narco state, a very bad hombre, and we just doubled the bounty on his head. It's now 50 mil. According to the New York Times, Maduro offered us a dominant stake in Venezuela's oil, gold, and mineral wealth and promised to cut ties with Russia and China. And Trump and Rubio said no. That tells me the gunboat diplomacy is going to end up with no Maduro and a Venezuela aligned with us, not Putin or Xi.
Well, Maduro's already offering that.
American action in Latin America hasn't always ended well. Look at the Bay of Pigs. Other times, it's a piece of cake.
When? Listen, if we've learned anything from U.S. regime change within the last few years, not the best track record. Iran not the best track record. Libya, Syria, Afghanistan, not the best track record. Iraq, goodness gracious.
It's our backyard. And Trump's just
When has it been easy? Recently. When? Show me. Tell me. Vietnam, well, that was easy. That was great. Korea, oh, whoa, what a lovely time. What are you talking about? Sometimes it has been easy. Other times it's been very easy. What are you talking about? Did it work in Cuba? No. Did it work in Venezuela? No. What?
reestablishing the Monroe Doctrine, a.k.a. the Dunroe Doctrine.
Listen, we got far too many problems at home. All right? Now, again, Venezuela, largest proven oil reserves in the world. That's probably what's going on here. Now, Venezuela, they're like, we have 5,000 Russian anti-aircraft missiles. We're going to counter U.S. aggression. Venezuela is now, after threatening to ditch Russia, saying, let's team up and control a quarter of the world's energy. I don't know if they will, but Nicolas Maduro says, yeah, we're preparing for a full all-out war with the CIA. And again, CIA, we have the options to use covert options. I don't know about you. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is a good endeavor? Do you think we should be spending our money and time on this and initiatives and goodwill and political capital and our foreign policy? You think we should be expediting and putting our resources and our eggs in this basket? Let me know if you think yes. Let me know if you think no, and that we should be taking care of things domestically and saying no more wars. Let's just focus on fixing the economy, which is in desperate straits right now. What do you think should be the priority? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for getting our CBD on takecalm.com. I think we only have a few of them left. We're trying to restock as fast as we can, but we might be out by the end of this video. Just a heads up, not really marketing, but that's just the truth. Take care of your health. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.